File transfer complete.
This is the Arizona Podcast. Stories about the people, places, and events found along the highways and back roads of the Grand Canyon State. For more information on our podcast, visit ArizonaPodcast.com.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're hitting the road and heading out west to explore Arizona's Route 66.
You know, it's not just any road trip, though. We've got some really unique sources to guide us.
Right. A website and event calendar dedicated to this iconic stretch of highway.
And it's curated by these folks who are clearly passionate about Arizona's Route 66.
So Chris and Mary, they're the voices behind Arizona Route 66, the podcast.
Exactly.
Now you might be thinking podcast and calendar, what's so special?
Right.
But trust me, they've uncovered so much cool stuff that most travelers miss. And to top it all off, they're even semi-retired chaplains.
Wow.
Makes you wonder how they got into this whole Route 66 thing, right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, it turns out they're actually California transplants, planning to fully retire in Arizona soon.
Oh, nice.
And from what I've gathered, Chris spent 30 years in broadcast radio.
So that makes sense. The podcast.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that storyteller's touch.
Right.
Bringing those historical tidbits and those local legends to life. And Mary, with her background as a small business owner, a dance instructor, and even a celebrant.
Wow.
She brings this warm, personal touch that makes you feel like you're riding shotgun with them. Yeah, exploring those back roads together.
That's great.
Okay, so let's talk about this calendar they've created.
All right.
Now imagine planning your dream Route 66 road trip and finding out over 70% of the online event calendars out there are outdated.
Oh, no.
That's exactly what Chris and Mary ran into.
Oh.
Total roadblock.
Yeah.
They were determined to create something comprehensive and constantly updated. So you can always count on having the latest, and it gets even better.
Really?
They have dedicated sections for walking tours, ghost towns,
Oh, wow.
must-see attractions,
Oh, okay.
and even Centennial events for the upcoming 2026 celebration.
2026.
Yeah, the Route 66 Centennial.
I had no idea.
I know it's going to be huge. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's check out some events on this calendar.
Okay, let's see.
I mean, where else are you going to find an Oatman Haunted Mine Tour listed right alongside a Route 66 Ultra Run in Seligman?
Interesting.
Right. And let's not forget about the Polar Express train ride they have in Williams during the holidays.
Wow.
They've really captured the variety that Route 66 has to offer.
Definitely.
So events are great.
Yeah.
But maybe you want more. You want to really soak up the history and the vibe of these towns.
Right.
Well, they've got you covered there too.
Oh, how so?
Walking tours.
Yeah. Cool.
Both guided and self-guided.
Okay.
Offering an intimate look at these iconic locations.
Awesome.
They've got one in Kingman, narrated by Jim Hinckley.
Jim Hinckley.
You know, he's a Route 66 author.
Oh, yeah.
And they even have a life-size bronze statue of him there.
Oh, wow.
And in Flagstaff.
Okay.
5 self-guided tours.
5.
Covering everything.
Okay.
From history and culture to haunted spots and public art.
Wow, that's a lot.
You've got options.
I see that.
Now, I don't want you to forget about Winslow's First Street Pathway.
Right.
This is the one that connects the La Posada Hotel and the Hubble Building Visitor Center.
Okay.
It's perfect for a nice little stroll, stretch your legs, soak up the town's charm.
Sounds nice.
But now,
Yeah.
let's shift gears
Okay.
and explore a side of Route 66 that's always kind of sent chills down my spine.
Uh-oh.
The ghost towns.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant something scarier.
Well, these are pretty eerie, too. Don't you think?
Yeah, they are in a way.
There's something fascinating about these abandoned settlements just frozen in time.
Yeah, definitely.
And Arizona's Route 66 has a whole bunch of them, each with its own story.
I bet.
They really run the gamut.
How so?
Barren landscapes where you can barely see the remnants of what was.
Wow.
Neglected buildings, still clinging to their past.
Uh-huh.
And even some semi-abandoned towns with just a handful of residents holding on to that old Route 66 spirit.
It's amazing they're still there.
I know.
So any standouts?
Oh, yeah. Two Guns, for example.
Okay.
One of those crumbling ghost towns.
Yeah.
Just captures the imagination.
Yeah.
You can practically hear the echoes of the past as you wander through the deserted structures.
I bet.
And then you've got Peach Springs.
Peach Springs.
It was actually the inspiration for Radiator Springs in Pixar's Cars.
Really?
Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah. It's still got those historic landmarks. The John Osterman Shell Station.
Right.
Historic Peach Springs Trading Post.
Mhm.
Amazing how real-life places end up on the big screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's Truxton,
Okay.
which saw its rise and fall tied to Route 66 traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Then the interstate came along, changed everything.
I know. It's kind of sad.
It is. But it's a reminder of how things change, right?
That's true.
And then we have Valentine.
Valentine.
Tiny population holding on to its history in the middle of the vast Wallapai Reservation.
Wow.
And Hackberry,
Hackberry.
former silver mining town,
Mm-hmm.
found new life thanks to Route 66 tourism.
Interesting.
Proof that the Mother Road can still revitalize a community.
Yeah. It's great.
But
What?
the most intriguing ghost town for me
Yeah.
has got to be Oatman.
Oatman. Why?
It's what they call a living ghost town.
You living.
Yeah, a few residents are still there, keeping the spirit alive, even though most of its original purpose is gone.
Huh. So it's not completely abandoned.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And in Oatman's case, those wild burros are a big part of that.
Wild burros.
Yeah. You might even meet Walter the Wonder Donkey.
Wait. Walter the Wonder Donkey?
He's the town's honorary mayor.
No way.
I know, right?
That's adorable.
Okay, but let's not forget Oatman's wild side.
Oh, yeah, right. The Wild West.
This was a Wild West town after all.
Uh-huh.
And it even played a role in Hollywood history.
Really? How so?
Remember Clark Gable and Carole Lombard?
Oh, yeah, the actors.
They eloped in Kingman
No kidding.
and spent their honeymoon night at the Derlin Hotel in Oatman.
Get out.
Now it's called the Oatman Hotel. But the honeymoon suite is still there.
Wow. I can't imagine the stories.
Right.
So cool.
Yep. Let's talk about those. Why did I stop to see these attractions?
Oh, I like where this is going.
Those quirky roadside stops. The ones that make you scratch your head
Right.
and smile at the same time.
Exactly.
Arizona's Route 66 has a real knack for those.
I bet.
So get ready for this one.
All right. Hit me.
Giganticus heticus.
Giganticus heticus. What in the world?
I know, right?
What is it?
Picture this.
Okay. I'm picturing.
14-foot tall green tiki head in the middle of the desert.
Oh, what?
You heard me right.
That's wild.
It's those unexpected finds that make road trips so memorable.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
Fishbowl Spring.
Fishbowl Spring.
It's a secret freshwater spring filled with goldfish.
Wait. Goldfish.
How they got there? Nobody knows.
That's strange.
But hey, that's Route 66 for you.
I guess so.
Now, we can't forget about the Wigwam Motel.
The Wigwam Motel.
Where else can you sleep in a giant concrete wigwam?
Only on Route 66, I bet.
It's classic roadside kitsch.
Yeah.
That blend of Native American culture
Yeah.
and a whole lot of roadside Americana.
I love it.
So, if you grew up watching the Flintstones, you have to stop at Bedrock City.
Bedrock City.
Yeah, Raptor Ranch.
Oh.
It's like stepping into the cartoon. Life-size statues of Fred and Wilma,
Uh-huh.
Barney.
Mem Bam.
Oh, wow. The whole game.
That's great.
And finally,
Yeah.
Meteor City.
Meteor City.
Grab a slice of pie. Contemplate the universe.
Sounds deep.
While gazing at a meteor crater.
Okay. I get it.
That unique blend. Natural wonders and roadside Americana.
Right. It's all Route 66.
It is.
It is. Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our Route 66 journey, and I'm excited for this part.
Me too. In part one, we talked about those walking tours and the quirky roadside attractions.
Right.
But now I'm ready for those natural wonders.
Oh, yeah. The Grand Canyon, Meteor Crater.
The Painted Desert. Petrified Forest National Park.
Those are bucket list destinations right there.
For sure. And they're all on, or just a short detour off Route 66.
You can really work them into your trip easily.
All right, let's start with the big one, the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
I mean, words can't even describe it. It's just awe-inspiring.
It really is. That vastness.
You have to see it to believe it.
Standing on the rim, looking out over that chasm.
Carved by the Colorado River over millions of years.
It's humbling.
It really is.
Yeah.
And there's so much to do there.
Hiking, mule rides.
Rafting, even helicopter tours.
Chris and Mary highly recommend the sunset tours.
Boy, bet.
Watching the colors change as the sun goes down. Unforgettable.
Wow. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Something else.
Okay, so Grand Canyon. Check.
What's next?
What's next? But Meteor Crater.
Meteor Crater.
It's the best preserved meteorite impact site on Earth.
A meteorite impact site. Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Right. But it's a powerful reminder of nature's power and the universe's vastness.
You know, it's funny. I never thought I'd find a hole in the ground so fascinating.
I know what you mean.
But it's like, it puts things in perspective.
Absolutely.
So what do you actually see at Meteor Crater?
Well, you stand on the rim,
Okay.
this massive crater, almost a mile wide, over 550 feet deep,
Wow.
and you just try to picture that impact.
They say the meteorite was over 150 feet wide.
Yeah, and traveling at over 26,000 miles an hour.
That's insane.
And there's a museum there, too.
Oh, cool.
Tells the story of how it formed, the science behind meteor impacts.
That's interesting.
They even have fragments of the meteorite.
What?
I'm starting to see how these natural wonders add a whole new layer to the Route 66 experience.
Me too.
It's not just about those quirky roadside attractions or the towns.
It's about the landscape.
The raw power and beauty of Arizona.
Exactly. And speaking of raw beauty,
Oh, yeah.
the Painted Desert and Petrified Forest National Park.
That's another one that's just, you see photos and it's hard to believe the colors are real.
It's so vibrant, like an artist's palette exploded across the desert.
And in the Petrified Forest,
Ancient trees turned to stone.
lying there like fallen giants.
Millions of years old, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
It's incredible.
And you can still see the wood grain perfectly preserved in the stone.
Wow. It's like a time capsule.
It really is.
So I get why Chris and Mary included these in their guide.
Me too.
They offer this glimpse into the deep history and the beauty of the Arizona landscape.
It's like a crash course in geology and art all in one.
Exactly. And you can't forget that sense of wonder they inspire.
Yeah, that's important.
Thinking about the forces that shaped our planet.
The vastness of time.
It's amazing.
And,
What?
it's funny how these natural wonders,
Yeah.
which seem so different from those neon signs and those quirky attractions,
Yeah.
actually complement the Route 66 experience perfectly.
I think you're right. They add a whole other layer of depth.
Route 66 isn't just a road
It's a journey
through time, history
and the landscapes.
of the American Southwest.
So we've explored the Grand Canyon, Meteor Crater,
Right?
the Painted Desert and Petrified Forest National Park.
What else?
What other iconic Arizona destinations did Chris and Mary mention?
With a rich Wild West history.
See, that's what I love about their guide.
What?
It's full of ideas,
Yeah.
inspiration,
Like having your own Route 66 buddies.
whispering in your ear, hey, you gotta check this out.
Exactly.
Speaking of inspiration,
Yeah.
what about Route 66 in Hollywood?
Oh, that's a great topic.
Route 66 has always had this glamorous side.
Attracting movie stars.
It's like it has its own star on the Walk of Fame.
And that connection goes way back.
Right. We talked about Clark Gable and Crow Lombard,
Her honeymoon in Oat Man.
but there's so many other stories.
Route 66 has been in so many movies and TV shows.
From The Grapes of Wrath to modern road trip comedies.
It's captured our imaginations for generations.
And Chris and Mary love those little-known stories
Like what?
about movie stars in Route 66. Did you know?
No, tell me.
Many of the facades in Pixar's Cars,
Yeah.
they were based on real places. In Peach Springs and Sullivan, Arizona.
So those animated
We're
cars.
driving through real Route 66 towns.
That's wild. It makes you appreciate the film even more.
It's like Route 66's legacy lives on.
Absolutely.
I'm really starting to see that Route 66 is so much more than just a road.
Oh, it's a cultural icon.
A symbol of Americana.
A canvas for stories.
A gateway to adventure.
It is.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in part 2 of our Route 66 deep dive.
From the Grand Canyon.
To the Petrified Forest National Park.
Quirky attractions.
Hollywood glamour.
We've explored it all.
And there's still more to come,
Stay tuned for part 3.
where we'll explore those lesser-known towns,
The ones that often get overlooked.
but offer a glimpse into the true heart and soul of Route 66.
We'll head east, uncover hidden gems,
Meet fascinating characters.
and soak up that Route 66 magic.
Get ready to hit the road. We're back for the final stretch of our Arizona Route 66 deep dive.
That's right. And this time we're going off the beaten path a little.
Yeah, exploring those lesser-known towns
The ones that sometimes get overshadowed.
by their more famous neighbors.
But they offer a real glimpse into the heart and soul of Route 66.
So, where are we headed first?
Let's start with Winslow.
Winslow.
Chris and Mary call it the heart of Route 66, nostalgia.
Winslow, Arizona. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That Eagles song.
Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
It's a Route 66 anthem.
And Winslow's really embraced it.
Oh, yeah. They even have a park dedicated to the song,
Really?
complete with a statue of a troubadour.
You're kidding
So you
me.
can stand on that corner
Wow.
and get that iconic photo.
I'm adding that to my list. But Winslow's got to have more than just a song.
It does. Chris and Mary say it's much more than a one-hit wonder.
Good.
Rich history, Stunning architecture.
Okay.
Even a vibrant arts scene.
What shouldn't we miss?
Definitely check out the Old Trails Museum.
Okay.
It's in a beautifully preserved Harvey house.
Those grand dames of Route 66.
Right.
Each one with its own story.
Exactly. And the Old Trails Museum is full of Route 66 memorabilia,
Cool.
historic photos, artifacts.
The real journey through time.
And just across the street is La Posada Hotel.
La Posada. That's a Harvey house too, isn't it?
Another gem.
I've heard it's one of the finest.
It is. Stunning architecture, lush gardens, elegant dining room.
Sounds amazing.
It's like stepping back in time.
Okay, Winslow. Check. What's next?
How about Holbrook?
Holbrook.
Chris and Mary describe it as a quirky Route 66 outpost.
I don't know that one as well.
Holbrook's known for its roadside attractions.
Okay.
And a lot of them have a prehistoric theme.
Dinosaurs on Route 66.
You got it.
I'm intrigued.
Now remember those wigwam motels?
Oh, yeah.
Holbrook has one too.
Really?
Brightly colored concrete teepees. Classic neon signs.
Route 66 sleepover party.
And then there's the Rainbow Rock Shop.
Right.
A real Route 66 institution.
Cool.
They've been selling Native American jewelry and crafts since the 1940s.
I love those shops.
Yeah.
Packed with treasures.
And if you're hungry,
Yeah.
Joe and Aggie's Cafe.
Okay.
Delicious Mexican food. Route 66 hospitality.
Mexican food and Route 66. I'm in.
Holbrook might be small,
Yeah.
but it's big on charm.
Definitely my kind of town. But you know what?
What?
All this talk about history and nostalgia has me wanting a grand finale.
Oh, I know. Just the place.
What?
Petrified Forest National Park.
Okay, now that's a name that brings to mind. Ancient landscape.
Otherworldly beauty.
But how does it connect to Route 66?
Here's a fun fact. A portion of Route 66 runs right through it.
Really?
You can drive Route 66 through Petrified Forest National Park.
Now that's a road trip grand finale.
It's a short stretch,
Yeah.
but scenic. Breathtaking views of the Painted Desert.
And those petrified logs.
Chris and Mary say to take your time,
Uh-huh.
stop at the overlooks,
Okay.
and just soak it all in.
And the photo ops must be amazing.
Oh, yeah. And don't miss the Painted Desert Inn.
Painted Desert Inn.
It's a National Historic Landmark, Pueblo Revival architecture,
Wow.
right on the edge of the Painted Desert. Panoramic views.
Sounds like the perfect place to end our journey
You reflect on everything we've seen.
and appreciate the beauty of Arizona's Route 66.
Well, our Arizona Route 66 adventure comes to an end.
Chris and Mary have given us an amazing roadmap
To adventure, history,
and those offbeat discoveries.
that make Route 66 so special.
They reminded us to slow down
Savor the journey.
and connect with the people and places along the way.
Route 66 is more than just a road.
It's an experience.
So whether you're planning a cross-country trip or just a weekend getaway.
Make sure Arizona's Route 66 is on your list.
And don't forget to visit ArizonaPodcast.com.
Their events calendar is a must-have,
Chris and Mary will be your guides
leading you to those hidden gems and must-see attractions.
that make the journey unforgettable.
Well, that's it for our Arizona Route 66 deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep discovering.
And keep that Route 66 spirit alive.
Program terminated. Thank you for listening to the Arizona Podcast. For more information on our podcasts, the people, places, events, or the sponsors heard, visit ArizonaPodcast.com. Available for download everywhere.